Hello and welcome to a very special leadership conversation presented by Anaplan in association with ETCFO. Now in today's world, it's more important than ever to outsmart the markets and outpace your competitors, and that can only be done with agile, data-driven, connected planning. And to decode that, we have with us today Amit Bagga, MD APAC of Anaplan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Shilpa. My pleasure.
It's our absolute pleasure indeed. And your motto is be the next. So could you expand on what next is and what should leaders be the next to make sure that they're ahead in this new era of connected planning?
Sure. So, we've got the tagline, be the next. And really what it is we are helping customers across the world really stay ahead of not just the competition, but all the volatility, all the changes that are happening, and how do you stay ahead of the game, and how do you lead the markets, and how do you drive an amazing company forward, right? So be the next is a motto for us to help our customers do that. And what we think is the aspiration for most leaders or C-suite within organizations is to really be able to empower their organizations to make decisions in real time that are accurate, agile, and context-driven, so that every single decision moves the companies forward, right? So how do you do that? You've got to be able to access and unlock the data inside your organization, use data that's external, all the things that are happening around the world, and being able to activate that, and activating that helping your teams make connected decisions so that silos within your organizations don't exist and get blasted, because you're able to make decisions that understand the impact across your organization, right? And we've got evidence that proves that customers that make decisions that are uniformly aligned across the organizations perform much better than others in the market. So that's why we want our customers to be the next.
Well, absolutely, and that's an interesting insight indeed. Also, could you shed some light on your vision for the financial year 2025, and how's Anaplan evolving to meet the challenges that enterprise planning is posing?
Correct. Everybody that's watching the news in 2025, every day is a new day, right? We've got, how shall I start? I'll run out of breath, but geopolitical challenges. We've got supply chain challenges. We've got wars pretty much in every front. We had experienced that here as well, and we had a few moments of stress within our businesses as well in India, right? So in this environment, how do organizations continue to outperform, continue to deliver? That's the challenge. And what we understand is how do we enable those customers to be able to make decisions throughout their journey, and being able to understand markets, to be able to build scenarios, to create multiple types of scenarios, to understand in each of these situations, how do we react, right? I don't know if anybody knows what the tariffs are going to land at, but we have a pretty good idea that tariffs are coming. So how do you create multiple scenarios across your business to understand what makes sense for you to do? How much do you want to spend? For how much revenue you want to drive, and how much do you want to take risks versus how conservative you need to be. Anaplan's dream and our aspiration in Asia is to help our customers across the board weather these challenges and really be able to outperform the markets, right? So our dream is we want to drive an AI-infused platform that helps our customers make those decisions and be able to drive an amazing business.
Right, so I want you to shed more light on this AI-infused scenario planning platform, because I believe you're one of the only platforms that does it. So what are the unique advantages it poses to leaders who want to stay ahead of the curve?
Absolutely. So let me explain the word scenario planning first, and then we'll talk about AI, right? So as I painted the picture of the volatility within the markets, it's not just its customers, our consumer behavior is changing, right? So customers need to be able to not plan just for a year. They need to be able to plan weekly plans, monthly plans. Even those change. So What Anaplan does is, what's unique about Anaplan is not the AI piece. The unique about Anaplan is the ability to drive those scenarios and help make decisions based on multitude scenarios. Who could have predicted the tsunami? But if you could visualize that, who could have predicted COVID, the pandemic? But how can you build scenarios that, in this case, what do we do? In this case, what do we do? And getting your organizations ready for this and be able to engage and move forward with lightning speed, understanding the impacts because you've already visualized this. So that's scenario planning. That takes data, right? And there's data across your organizations. There's data externally as well. The days when people used to be able to do that, it used to take months, weeks, days to just process the data to come up with these kind of models. AI helps us drive those decisions really fast. So what Anaplan's view in this is, the reason we say we are the only AI-infused scenario planning platform is because we help customers drive these decisions with agility using the AI models. We're able to do that by being able to generatively help you question data, interrogate data, get real-time insights. The questions that used to take analysts days to answer are answered in a mere set of minutes, right? And then you have the agentic AI elements on top of that then are able to execute those plans, right? Digitally. So you can do that using agentic AI. You're able to create workflows, you're able to execute them and get those results really fast. That's pretty unique to Anaplan.
Absolutely. It's not just automation, but it's also smarter planning at the core of it.
Absolutely.
Now, according to you, what would be the top 1 or 2 mindset shifts that are required for leaders today when it comes to planning?
Absolutely. So, we believe in decision excellence. Decision excellence really needs your organizations to be connected across. Gone are the days when leaders could drive siloed decisions and having siloed systems and IT systems for supply chain, for finance, for workforce. You can't make these decisions in isolation anymore. You can't make a decision on, say, your tariff decisions, just basically changing your supply chain. It's not that easy. So let me give you an example. Most people think, tariffs are coming, I have to change my supply chain. No, you need to first understand and visualize what's the organization's capacity and capability to adjust your revenue models, to adjust your cost models, and withstand the market perception, and being able to keep your shareholders happy. Once you understand that and you understand the flex, you realize I can probably withstand a 10% tariff movement, for example, by being able to adjust within local systems, right? Or if it's more than that, I may need to change some part of my supply chain. So you don't immediately go and start changing your supply chains because there's tariffs. You need to first understand your financial impacts, understand the risk you want to take, and then being able to minimize the changes you need to do so that you can flex back when things change, right? That's the power of connected decision making. That's what we believe is really important for us to have a mindset shift to think holistically within your business, not just silos.
But it truly sounds like it minimizes risk when you think about it with a 360-degree view and not just look at it in silos. And if a CXO that's watching this were to ask you, how do I effectively break down silos while planning? Because that really sounds like the need of the hour. What would you tell them?
Yeah, so look, every single CEO, CFO, or other CXOs that I meet ask the same question, right? We have a view on this, which we call the decision excellence framework. And the decision excellence framework is a way for us to engage the organizations to really understand how they currently make decisions, what are the areas in which those decisions are leading to a good decision and a good outcome for the company, and where things fell apart. 90% of what we find is they're falling apart when there's disconnection between the decisions. Your supply chain person made a decision that was right for their KPI, but it was not right for the KPI of the human resources team, right? So how do you actually make the decision that tells you that what was right for the company? You don't want to be the CEO that finds out something when you're doing a quarterly report out to your shareholders that there was a drop in your profitability, right? You don't want to be doing that. You want to make that. You want to understand that right at the moment. So, what decision excellence framework helps us understand is benchmark how your organizations are performing, and then where should you be to be the best. And then usually that comes down to then identifying areas within the organizations that need to be upgraded to help them put systems in place that help them leverage the data that they have to make the right decisions, right? And those are areas that you identify, and then it's a matter of working through those elements and driving that change within your organization. That's at a top level. That's what we believe our C-suite should be doing.
That's very articulate indeed, and thank you for summing it up so well. I think after this conversation, I can truly say that connected planning helps businesses move forward as a whole because the sum is truly greater than the parts.
Absolutely.
It's been a great conversation indeed, Amit. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Shiva. My pleasure.
Thank you once again, and thank you so much for watching. Remember to catch our other conversations happening right here from the Anaplan Summit. Thank you.